Your body develops illness when stress hormones are continuously released because they decrease gene function. Your thoughts might truly make you ill if you are stressed out all the time by worrying about problems. But when we consider the opposite scenario, can our ideas really help us? This is also conceivable, of course. Gene activation is influenced by a cascade of chemical signals sent by our ideas and beliefs. These signals have the ability to attach to proteins that control gene expression and alter it. You may alter your thinking and take charge of all your genes by turning on new ones if you want to see gains in your health. Your body will then evolve in a new way and create various chemicals, hormones, and enzymes. After completing a brisk 30-minute walk, one of our patients with Parkinson's disease discovers that the condition has disappeared. They inspire others who think, "Wow, if they can do it, so can I." Now, consider what would happen if enough people did it. Your brain is unable to distinguish between your imagined and actual lives while it is engaged in the picturing process. Your experiences enhance the circuits in your brain, but we have a problem where we tend to concentrate on the things we don't want to happen to us more when we are in a crisis or have a health issue. Instead of focusing on the worst-case scenario, we must interact with that concept by being mindful of the here and now. Dialysis patients may develop new brain circuits as if they have already been healed, if they are able to effectively interact with their kidneys. Positive changes might occur because their brain is unable to distinguish between reality and fiction. However, it may also function in reverse. Their brain will develop circuits that will keep them on dialysis for the remainder of their lives if they constantly ask themselves, "Will I be on dialysis for the rest of my life?" The body adjusts to the new future as the brain begins to rewire itself. The body begins to adjust to the future rather than the past if the feeling is intense and accompanied by images. Every day, we knock on that genetic door via our emotions, which ultimately triggers the activation of a new gene. With the production of new proteins and enzymes by this gene, healing may begin right away. Humans can finish this procedure in 4 days, according to our data. We can demonstrate that the human gene can send a signal that lowers the number of cancer cells. You may instruct the stem cells to go to the active tissues, repair, regenerate, and inhibit sick and inflammatory tissue simply by giving them signals. According to our study, you can even alter the quantity of cells in your brain if you do it right. Your body has several genes, which are like a library of knowledge and potential. All you need to do is start managing your genes by selecting the appropriate signal and key. There are 2 methods to control your genes. They begin to make very potent and nutritious proteins when they are pointed upward. These are known as enzymes, and they give tissues their structure and functionality. They are your immune system and hormones, in a sense. They begin to create less expensive proteins when they are forced downward by danger. This is a distinct signal that often occurs upon trauma and remains there. It is not a growth signal. For example, if you had a terrifying incident and everything associated with it makes you think of that dread, it's probably in your subconscious. We do extensive study on the brain-heart connection. According to this study, our bodies activate their primitive nerve systems when we are in an uncontrollable circumstance or when we are in danger. Fight or flight, as you may know, is what this is. We feel as if we have no control over anything in our lives when this occurs. The chemicals that cause stress and excitement cause the brain to enter a high-level condition known as beta brainwaves. Your neocortex maps every activity, item, location, and experience. These neural networks alter as you go from one text to another, or from one conference to another. It begins to fire wildly in your head, like lightning in the skies. Unbalance results from this discrepancy. We have a tendency to overfocus while under stress. The brain becomes more imbalanced when we concentrate all of our attention on what we are concentrating on. Numerous studies have been conducted on this topic, and each time we manipulate the brain when stress hormones are present, the outcomes are invariably unfavorable. The brain enters a beta brainwave state when one is very focused and overly analytical. The brain's potential is limited by this restricted concentration, which makes it resemble a home with rooms. You have to do the exact opposite. How can we concentrate more broadly? Attention moves from tangible objects to nothingness as concentration grows. It slows down the analytical mind. Beta waves in your brain give way to slower waves. It is comparable to downshifting. High beta gives way to medium beta, which is followed by low beta. You finally reach the alpha state. The incessant voice in your brain stops while you're in the alpha state. Typically, the brain switches to visual perception and images. This is your most creative state, the dream state. Now that you're out of survival mode, you look for life's solutions and attempt new activities. Your brain's previously disjointed regions begin to synchronize as you broaden your attention. Your immune system suffers from being in emergency mode all the time. You are protected by two systems. The sympathetic nervous system, which I refer to as the gas pedal, defends against external threats. You can utilize all of your energy to combat the fight-or-flight response thanks to this method. Survive first, then take care of the body, it adds. Although it functions effectively for brief periods of time, if it is always on, it depletes your vitality, leaving little room for inner development and healing. The immune system informs us if foreign agents, viruses, bacteria, mold, fungi exist, we can't handle them because we are fighting this external war. They inhibit your internal army of white blood cells and lymphocytes by blocking certain immune system receptors. Fighting germs and viruses requires a lot of energy. However, how will you even be able to sustain fundamental bodily processes without energy? The amazing thing is that your body is a marvelous mechanism that can adapt to a wide range of situations. Every cell seems to be awaiting an order or a spark to unleash its greatest potential. But what if I told you that energy comes from your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, as well as from food and sleep? Something wonderful occurs the instant you change your emphasis from fear and survival to development and regeneration. Think of your cells as little workers, each prepared to renew, repair, and rebuild. However, they need guidance and fuel, and this fuel isn't simply calories, it's purpose. Your body receives instructions from the energy you put into your thoughts and the feelings you nurture. Your body pays attention when you intentionally focus your thoughts on opportunity and healing. All of a sudden, those cells begin to move in unison, like to an orchestra playing a new tune. This is where the real alchemy is found. It goes beyond wishful thinking or optimistic thinking. It is supported by science. According to research, your body starts to change when you reach a profound level of coherence, when your heart and mind are in harmony. Proteins are made, genes activate, and the healing process quickens. It's similar like discovering health blueprints you were unaware you possessed. Imagine yourself now at the intersection of two pathways. One results in a future governed by limiting factors, fear, and outdated habits. The other is a vast expanse of possibilities that may be molded by your determination, imagination, and concentration. Which will you pick? In actuality, you already possess the energy you're looking for. It is there in every idea you cultivate and every conviction you decide to maintain. Your mind is the creator of your world, not only a spectator in this process. Therefore, getting more sleep or eating a healthier diet isn't the first thing to do if your body is lacking energy. Recharging your internal compass is what it is. What do you have in mind? Are you giving yourself inspiration, vision, and hope? Or are you caught in a vicious circle of worry and doubt? If you alter the story, your body will comply. You have the chance to realign, re-energize, and recover your natural healing ability with every breath and every instant. You have the spark. Light it. Something significant starts to occur when you kindle that inner flame, not just in your physical appearance, but also in the way you see the world. You begin to perceive yourself as a maker of circumstances rather than a victim of them. Every difficulty and barrier turns into a springboard rather than a barrier. You start to realize that where your concentration goes, so does your energy. Therefore, how can I focus my energy to create the healing I deserve? Is a better question to ask than, can I heal? This change in viewpoint is life-changing. Consider this. Your mind carries the blueprint for your overall well-being, just as a seed includes the design for a tall tree. Everything changes the instant you realize that you are a living, breathing energy field and no longer regard yourself as constrained by your physical body. You realize that your body is always reacting to the messages that your mind gives it. Therefore, why not convey messages of fortitude, resiliency, and rejuvenation? Think of this procedure like a garden's planting. Your views and ideas are the seeds. Your mental landscape will be overtaken by weeds if you sow the seeds of anxiety, self-doubt, and dread. However, you may cultivate a flourishing garden of health and vitality by sowing the seeds of potential, joy, and thankfulness. What's the greatest part? Because it is nourished by something far more profound than the outside world, your own inner light. This garden may thrive in any situation. This is where the ability to use one's imagination is useful. Your brain is unable to distinguish between your imagination and reality when you have a vivid picture of yourself as robust, healthy, and vibrant. It starts rewiring itself to conform to this new perception. Your body begins to adjust to this new way of being as the chemistry changes and the neurons fire differently. This is deliberate production, not only daydreaming. The future you are imagining is already beginning to take shape in the here and now. Don't stop there, however. Go one step beyond. Experience the feelings of that lively, robust self. What does it feel like to wake up each day feeling invigorated, purposeful, and a part of life? The signal you're giving your body is stronger the more strongly you experience it. And that signal is the secret that opens the door to cellular transformation. Your body is effectively being told, this is who we are now. This is our new reality. Your body, which is always adaptive, starts to react accordingly. It's biology, not magic. But doesn't it seem magical? To understand that you have the capacity to alter, heal, and change. Even if there may still be difficulties in the outside world, you now have the inner fortitude and a strong conviction that you can overcome them. You are now the conductor of your own symphony, bringing your body, mind, and spirit into harmony to move you closer to the future you have always desired. Therefore, the trip is just getting started and doesn't finish here. You have the chance to refine this relationship between your ideas, energy, and reality every single day. You are now creating life rather than just responding to it. And you are getting closer to being the most complete, colorful version of yourself with every conscious thought and intentional decision you make. You've always had the power. It's time to accept it completely. Something amazing begins to happen as you keep accepting this new self. Life starts to reflect the inside change. Like stones placed in a quiet pond, the shifts in your thoughts and energies have an outward ripple effect. This internal change begins to show in your relationships, your career, and your health. You see that circumstances that used to feel overwhelming now appear controllable, even motivating. Why? Because your energy is now focused on creating rather than surviving. You are now influencing life's events rather than responding to them. This is what empowerment really means. You come to see that you are not constrained by limiting ideas, outdated narratives, or patterns from the past. You actively create the future rather than waiting for it to happen. Every choice you make and every hour you spend in life becomes a brushstroke on the canvas. You start to perceive obstacles as chances to improve your vision rather than as setbacks. You may enter a state of flow when life seems more like a dance than a struggle, thanks to this change in viewpoint. And this process's beauty? It's still going on. There is no ultimate goal or moment when you are done. Rather, your potential is always evolving and growing in an unending manner. You discover more about who you really are with each step. Your once accepted restrictions vanish, exposing an endless reservoir of potential within of you. This is about accepting your development and believing that every day offers fresh perspectives, renewed vigor, and clarity rather than aiming for perfection. Imagine now that you wake up every morning knowing that you are actively contributing to the creation of your reality, that the experiences of future will be shaped by the ideas you cultivate now. In what ways would you go about your day differently? What would you decide to emphasize? If you embraced this ability to the fullest, who would you become? These are invites, not hypothetical queries. Invitations to live a life that is more purposeful, fulfilling, and in harmony with your best self. The fact is that things won't always be simple. There will continue to be times of uncertainty, worry, and difficulty. However, you will now confront them with a renewed sense of resilience rather than allowing them to immobilize you. Deep inside, you'll realize that these times are just a natural part of the process. They are chances to improve yourself, sharpen your attention, and bolster your dedication to your goal. Every obstacle is a gateway, and the key is in your hands. The future you once imagined is now your reality as you pass through these doors. It is no longer just a far-off fantasy. Breath by breath, minute by moment, you are living it. You now have access to the possibilities that previously seemed unattainable. What's the greatest part? You're not alone in this. You encourage those around you to change as you do. Your path turns into a lighthouse, a reminder that we can all make the life we choose, and that change is possible. Ultimately, this goes beyond just finding pleasure, prosperity, or healing. It's about recognizing that you are a powerful creature who can do incredible things, a creator and a visionary. This power has always been within of you. You're just deciding to utilize it now. By doing this, you're not just altering your own life, but also the world in which you live. Thus, continue developing, producing, and moving forward. The whole world is anticipating your next move. It is up to you to mold the future. And something even more unexpected occurs just when you believe you have reached the peak of your abilities. You become aware of minute synchronicity, little indications that the cosmos is reacting to your internal metamorphosis. Life seems lighter, almost as if you're being led, and the perfect people come into your life at the appropriate moment. Unexpected chances also start to present themselves. It's no accident. The outside world begins to reorganize itself in ways that might seem nothing short of amazing when your inner world changes. How is this possible? How can my thoughts, my energy, influence reality in such a tangible way? Is a question you may be asking yourself. This is where the interesting part begins. At the most basic level, everything is energy, according to quantum physics, and science has only just started to scrape the surface of what we term reality. Everything is in motion. Your ideas, feelings, and goals all have energy, a distinct frequency that interacts with the environment around you, as astounding as that may seem. Think of your ideas as waves in a huge ocean of energy, causing vibrations that draw in other waves with similar frequencies. Because the cosmos functions like a mirror, reflecting back the energy you emit, what you concentrate on starts to come to pass. Therefore, you start a chain reaction when you change your emphasis from doubt, fear, or restriction to opportunity, love, and thankfulness. Life responds in kind when you send out a signal. The catch is that you're not only getting these responses passively, you start to expect remarkable things to happen the more you connect yourself with this higher frequency. And it's crucial to have this expectation. It is a question of certainty rather than hope. You start to believe that things will work out for you even when you can't see the complete picture, just as you trust the sun to rise every morning. The doors that seem to be locked are suddenly ajar and only waiting for you to enter. Even more intriguing, however, is the fact that the world doesn't always respond as you may anticipate. Opportunities don't always look like what you had in mind when they first present themselves. And the true magic is found there. These unanticipated detours and impromptu moments often take you to destinations that far exceed your initial expectations. Are you prepared to make the jump, then? To truly go into the unknown with the belief that the cosmos is not only paying attention but is working to your advantage? The most thrilling aspect of this adventure is not knowing precisely how it will turn out. And that's the point. You remain intrigued and strive for more because of that feeling of mystery and the expectation of the unexpected. Life is an adventure because of it. There's one last secret to keep in mind as you go along this route. The cosmos will surprise you more, the more you foster that feeling of wonder and curiosity, and the more you lean into this energy. What if? Take a minute to imagine that your biggest discovery is waiting for you to take the next step, just around the corner. What if? Everything you've ever wanted and dreamed of is not only feasible, but also closer than you may realize. Yes, the future is uncertain, but that's precisely what makes it so thrilling. The keys to determining your own destiny have already been unlocked. What comes next? Which fresh doors will soon open? What marvels lie beyond your current view, just waiting to be discovered? What if? If you only take that next leap of faith, the life you've always imagined is waiting for you. Since the future is already at your door, whether you recognize it or not, the true question is not, will it happen? But rather, are you ready for what's coming? It's only a matter of opening it.